Refined style does not have to be dressed up. And one of the best guys in the world at executing on this principle is Simon Crompton from Permanent Style. The man does do suiting, he does do formal clothes, he does them incredibly well. But the best stuff that I've ever seen from him is stuff that feels so elevated while being so everyday that it's almost aggravating. So let's go back to this look. This is about like as dad core as it gets. This is a light wash jean. It's not skinny. It's not baggy. He's got on just a gray sweatshirt and then a brown leather jacket. Like this is the kind of stuff that, you go back 10, 15 years ago and it was normal to see dads just wear stuff like this. But notice how good the material is. Notice how good the fit is. Notice how well everything is executed. And there's not any one particular thing that you're seeing on him that really draws your attention, but it's the whole totality of all of it that he executes on this so well. And he sticks to really good, simple pieces like this a ton. Here's another great example. Simple pieces that are kind of like in that mid-range between not being overly casual, but certainly not being too formal. Great texture, incredible material, simple color blocking. It looks like he's wearing the same boots as he had on in the past picture. Or here we go again where, yeah, he elevates it a little bit by going with a collared shirt, but it's a more casual button-down style. And then he actually balances that out by going with more of this field jacket, especially because like he's using the pockets. They're stretched out. This is worn. This is used. This is loved. This does not feel like it is a costume or just a cheap piece that you pick up from somewhere that's made out of synthetic and is just going to break down after a couple of wears. And even when he does do pattern, like he's got on with this overshirt, it's not so out there or it's not so ostentatious that it feels like that's the main thing that you're going to be paying attention to. It's still rooted in some level of maturity, self-awareness, history. There's an element of this that still just feels very lived in, very normal, and very natural. So the key principles that make all of this refined. It's high quality construction. It's really good seasonal textures and really good materials that's made out of. It's a lot of simplicity in the color palettes, or when he does embrace color or patterns, it's still pulling from history. You can think about the fact that the more staying power an article of clothing has, the more it's going to be associated with that refined archetype. And it just hits that sweet spot of not being desperate for attention, but also not being uncomfortable with it. There's an element of sovereignty and of self-confidence and self-awareness that comes through stuff like this that is just so fun to see somebody execute so well on.